my father was a revolutionary in the Harlem Renaissance, and where I see myself as someone different than the modern 2019 year return tour operator and visitor of Africa is that I was more born into this line of thinking of Black empowerment and return to Africa. So back in 2014, when I was making my first arrangements for trips to visit Africa, it was supposed to be Cameroon.
Mm.
However, the 2014 Ebola outbreak happened in Cameroon, so me and my group we had to cancel, and we identified Ghana as an ideal location due to its hospitality. At the time, right of Adobe, Ghana has always been known in the Black American community as Africa for beginners.
Right.
And once I started visiting Ghana in 2015, I've loved the people. I've met so many wonderful people. You know, I'm here at Asase Radio. One of the first ever voices I've met was Caroline Farrell
Mm.
when she was still at YFM. And the country has taken me in. So that's where my passion for Africa as a whole came from. But also when I started visiting Ghana in 2015, just the people, the connections that I've made throughout the country has been just an amazing experience.
Right. And how did the association with the Year of Return come about?
Um, Spiritually and numerology and astrologically, the year return marked the 400-year anniversary of when Black Americans were sent as prisoners of war to the Americas in 1619.
Mm.
However, what many people don't know, this is also the centennial, the 100-year anniversary of the Great Migration in Black America when, after slavery was ended in 1865, from 1916 to 1970, Black Americans moved from the southern slave states to the North, New York City, where I'm from, to Los Angeles, California, and to Chicago, Illinois. I know Chance the Rapper has a huge event coming out in January. He's from Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah.
So from 1916 to 1970 was the Great Migration. So it's the 100-year anniversary, the centennial of the Great Migration, along with the 400-year anniversary of the year return. So when I was still doing tours in Ghana in 2019, again, I began visiting Ghana in 2015. I came up with the idea of doing tours in 2016, and I actually started conducting tours in 2017. However, when the year return happened in 2019, a whole lot of new Ghanaian tourism companies popped up, Black American tour companies popped up, people who was
Yeah.
doing tours to Europe and Iceland and Greenland who would never touch Africa due to stereotypes saying, oh, Ghana's a real option. Let me bring people to Ghana. Business people who never had any interest in Africa, afraid to be quote unquote, I'm being, stereotypes I'm speaking.
Mm.
Oh, are they going to eat me? Are they going to kidnap me? Is it lions and tigers in Ghana? Tigers are in India. But, they think all of Africa was safari like in Kenya or, pot bellies and eyelids in Ethiopia. I say all these new people are coming into the space. How can I separate myself and show that I'm the authentic, I'm the real? And then that's when I decided to go into marketing and branding, and thank God, I was able to separate myself. So the year return, where many diasporans were returning, more business opportunities were coming. Pioneers like me, I found the way to not be left behind by going into branding.
And it's been 3 years down the line since the Year of Return launched with the pandemic in between. And beyond the return, what initiatives can best sustain this new door that has been opened to tourism in Ghana?
The Beyond Return campaign has been doing a wonderful job. Also, Destination Ghana, which stems from the UK, have been doing a great job as talk. As Ghana influencers continue to have a cross cultural infusion with American artists, whether it's in entertainment, whether it's in music, or even when it comes into the investing sector. As we continue to share things on social media, meet and mingle, and come together, everything is going to continue to tie in and going to continue to develop the culture and building years, because that's 3 years ago. So there's many people out there who's been given 3 years of getting to know someone.
Right.
These are not the days anymore where somebody from an American point of view, these are not the days anymore where somebody from Africa come into your Facebook inbox and we're like, who is this? What is this? Now we have WhatsApp. Now we have video chats. We can actually see what this person is, see what this person is about. We can see if this person really is who he is. I tell people all the time, if you can't trace them through social media and look at their life and look and see what they're doing and who you're sending your money to, you should have been sending your money to that person. Whereas no one wants to offend anybody here on the continent. Even when I want to send Western Union, when I'm in the States of things, I still got to go through a whole lot of protocol because of scamming. But
Right.
now that those doors are being knocked down, where real and authentic people who are coming with real business proposals, real services, and really not afraid to show who they are, the development over the years and times. Real quick, like I spoke about the year return, like I spoke about the Great Migration. These are things that went on for hundreds of years. Slavery and imports went on for at least 100 years. Um, the Great Migration went on for 100 years. I believe this new wave of Black Americans coming into African countries as a whole. Because Ghana is not big enough to take all of Black America in.
Right.
Ghana is only, I tell Black Americans again, Ghana is the size of one of our states called Oregon. Oregon is our 11th largest state in the country. Our largest state is Texas. Texas is the size of Kenya. Nigeria is a little larger than Texas. There's not enough space in one country, let alone when you start dealing with smaller cities like Accra. Accra is not even is way smaller than Brooklyn. So as Black Americans continue to come into these countries, Ghana is the gateway. So as Americans continue to flood into Ghana and all throughout Africa, this is going to be going on for the next 20, 50, 75, 100 years. So it's not too late. If you're thinking about starting a business or starting anything to cater to an American or diasporan crowd, you have a long time. Start now. Start now while it's early. Jump in while it's early,
And
but you
while
have
you're talking
time.
about starting a
Yeah.
business,
Yes.
that was going to be my next question because I have personally seen, many diasporans come down to Ghana to invest and they're struggling. They're really, really struggling. A lot of them from the fact that they have very little information about the local market or what the demand is for what and so they come down with the money they go into investing for those who have invested into real estate. It's working for some of them and some would want to go into other business ideas and they're really, really struggling because there's very little information for them to be able to leverage on. You understand? What initiatives are in place to help diasporans wanting to invest in Ghana or in Africa currently?
Yeah. In my new book, coming out, the 10 Repatriation Commandments, one of the best advice that I give Black Americans to actually come down and see the country for yourself. Come down, spend time in the country, network, get to know people, and actually investigate where you're sending your money to and what are viable options. Because I have seen plenty of times here where Black Americans come down and use their American money to start businesses in various fields. I'm going to keep it on the high end field.
Right.
Invest all their money, invest 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 in American dollars, open up their business, and then when they start seeing a return in Ghana CDs, they're like, oh, So I always ask Americans to always come and see what they see first. Stop thinking of it as a quick win. Think of it as a long-term investment. Think like, okay, like me, I came down in 2015. I got my idea in 2016. I got my first client in 2017. Some people may luck up and hit quicker, especially, it feels like real estate and things of that nature, where real estate, it cuts out the middle person.
Right.
It cuts out a lot of the struggle of finding a home and finding a house. But a lot of the real estates, they turn over after 1 or 2 years because the people who get the places can't sustain them. There's projects that I've heard of that addresses Black Americans or diasporans wanting to come in and invest. I know that they had the Wakanda Summit in the Central Region earlier this year. This weekend coming up, it's a repatriation event at Kaminsky Hotel from August 1st to August 4th, where people are coming in, presenting their ideas and networking and communicating on business ventures. Also, what I want to encourage Ghanaians to do also is that it's a problem that I've ran into, and amongst my diasporan communities, we kind of get the same situation a little far too often. Sometimes we come with our money and our ideas, and we meet someone, and then they spend the whole time trying to talk us out of our ideas to invest in their ideas.
Mm.
And we hear things like, "Oh, we know the country," and "Oh, this will be better." Sometimes you need to take that person, hear what their ideas are, and critically think and figure out how to make their ideas blow up. Because sometimes we're coming from, in essence, I think the pandemic and social media has shortened the gap, but sometimes we're coming in from a position of we're in the future in a way.
Right.
We're still in the future. So it's like think of it as an alien open up a portal where you can see and say, "Hey, we're gonna do this," and you're like, "Oh, we can't do that here." No, we're coming from the future in a way. And like I said, the pandemic and social media has closing that gap, which is good for the African continent. Um, but don't be afraid to put your ideas aside. If you know you have an idea that you want to do and it takes money, you're looking for money. Even if a diasporan come in with money, don't think to yourself, "Oh, they have the money. Let me get their money for my idea." And get them to forget about their idea. Help them with the money with their idea, because if you do your best and their idea falls flat, they're the same person who could say, "Hey, I have an idea. Let's do my idea this way." And then they'll gladly put that money into your idea, even if it takes them another couple of months to kind of get that money back together. Because another stereotype that many Africans, when I say Africans, it comes from my exploration around the country.
Right.
I mean, around the continent, excuse me. Even though I know I'm on Ghanaian radio. They think every American is wealthy.
Mm.
Every American is not wealthy, especially when you go into the fact that American the cost of living is so much higher. Here, I pay a lot for my haircut. I pay 20 CDs for my haircut. But if you ever do the math, my haircut in America costs 180 CDs. So a
Right.
lot of times these Americans may come here with a lot of money, but by the fact that they still living in America and their jobs are in America and their contracts are in America, they'll come out here and they may have balling money for that 1 or 2 weeks, which prompts people to do the quick hit type thing. But also understand that not everybody is just an ATM machine and they have money just to throw away. You want to help your American connection, your diaspora connection, put their money in the right places, or feel confident that they're spending their money with you. And it's not a quick play, it's a long play. As I teach Black Americans to think the long term, not to rush out of America and rush into situations, I also want to encourage Ghanaians and other Africans around the continent, when they find a good American, when they find a good diasporan, to know that it's a long term relationship that you're looking to build. That maybe that American won't, maybe they will, but even if they won't, that it's more likely to have a sustainable generational wealth type situation if you look into each relationship as a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year relationship,
Mm.
rather than a, "Hey, let me get 2,000, 10,000 for my business now, and whatever happens." Because you may get 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 Ghana CDs over the course of 2, 3, 5 years if you just be patient and hear, and we all work together.
Right.
Yeah.
But what are some other challenges that Black Americans face when they come down to Ghana, especially for those who make the decision to move to Ghana to live in Ghana? Because I mean, as Ghanaians, we probably just think it's easy. Or you just come down, you get a house, and that's it. But I'm sure you have been there before. What were some of the challenges you had to go through, transitioning into the Ghanaian space?
A lot of I call it the African dream in my book. I call it the African dream. A lot of Black Americans, we think that we come here and the sky is going to open up and the ground is going to shake, and all the issues that we had in America are going to instantly go away. So I share with Black Americans, no, you won't be dealing with systematic oppression and racism. And then on the other hand, there's a lot of classism in Ghana, but at least you're in the higher class due to access to your American dollar. But you have to understand that the problems that you're having in America with yourself are the same problems you're going to find in Ghana.
Mm.
If you have a bad attitude in America, you're going to have a bad attitude in Ghana. And Ghanaians are going to, point that out in you.
Yeah.
You can't just come here and just come disrespecting people. Ghana is a beautiful, wonderful country. You can't just come here and be mean. If you have a habit of getting in toxic relationships in America, you're gonna get into toxic relationships in Ghana. Excuse me. you're going to get in toxic relationships in Ghana. So as Americans, I tell people before you make that transition, start immediately, start right now into taking an honest look into yourself. Take an
Right.
honest look into your strong points, your weaknesses, because also your strong points in America are going to be your strong points in Africa. And once you start taking a real honest look, a real deep look into your subconscious and understanding like these are problems that I have, these are me problems. A saying goes, no matter where you go, there you are.
Yeah.
I have Black Americans quoting Jay-Z, no matter where you go, you are who you are, player. You know, a lot of Americans need to be better people before they think they can come to Ghana and all their problems are over. I love a lot of Black Americans feel like they get scammed and cheated out here when they find out the price for Ghanaians and then they find out the price for Americans. And I think us as Black Americans need to understand that it takes time to find out the going rate.
Mm.
It's like, okay, Black Americans come here and use Uber. It takes us a long time to find out about Bolt. And then it takes us even longer to find out about Yango. You know, so these things come in time. So don't be patient.
Right.
You know, one of the things that I wish I can go back in time, you know, it was part of my development, but I wish I could go back in time and be the Rashad I am now. You know, I wouldn't have so many, you know, other issues coming into Ghana when I first started. And, you know, I was still dealing with things with my American mind and Mother Africa. In this case, Ghana wasn't just like cleansing me of just like purging me of my own self-sabotaging behavior.
Mm. Well, talking about your book, though, you seem to have really detailed a lot of experiences of
Yeah.
Black Americans, and even including your experiences as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
What other aspects should people be looking out for in your book
Um,
beyond, you know, investing, beyond moving to Ghana?
Patriotism is real. I think that's a chapter that people will really gravitate to.
Mm.
In America, as Black Americans, we were prisoners of war. Some like to say we were kidnapped from Africa, and we went through the slave dungeons in Elmina to the Americas. We never, most Black Americans don't feel a patriotic feel towards America.
Right.
However, when you come to Ghana, Ghanaians love being Ghanaians. Nigerians love being Nigerians. So when we
Yeah.
come here and we see Black radio, all Black, every station we turn to, all African, let me put it this way, all African, all Ghanaian presenters, all African celebrities on the news, on the television, on the radio, in politics, in teaching, all the jobs, all the store owners, to the Black American, that's new. That's not something we see. I'm from Harlem, New York. I lived in Ghana for 2.5 years. I went back to New York for 3 months, and I just got back Sunday. And it just reminded me that when I walk through my neighborhoods in America, on the corner we have the Yemenis. They're like Lebanese. They're family. They're similar to Lebanese people here. On every corner store, all of our provision stores. Think about every time you see a container store here in Ghana.
Right.
But every time you see a container store, there's a Lebanese owner, and they own all the container stores. In America, the Yemenis own all the container stores with the exception of a couple of Latinos. When we go to our 99-cent stores where everything costs $1, they're owned by the Indians from India. When we go to our supermarkets, they're owned all by Europeans. So seeing that all Africans own everything African and have 100% control or 95% control over all the news, all the radios, everything you buy, everything you sell, it's a sense of empowerment that Black Americans don't have and don't see. So patriotism is real. However, I also teach in the book for Black Americans, we need to understand that without access to the American dollar, that gives us privilege. Even with the diasporans, when they have access to the British pound, that they have privilege because of the money and how to leverage that money, how to utilize that money, and also how to identify authentic, talented, and worthy people to invest in. Because when I see Africa, when I see Ghana, I speak to so many talented people. That's why I've been able to surround myself with the right people. There's so much talent out here, but it's not enough opportunity. And one of the benefits to the year of return and to the I call it cross culture, until it's culture exchange, is that you find the investors who actually, if they're willing to put in the time, that's why I always say, stop thinking in days, weeks, and months, start thinking of years, decades, and even centuries, that can put the right people in order and not only change their family for generational wealth, but also build institutions and business structures that also allow people to really bring real wealth in, and understand that you may be leaving your American heritage behind and going to a place that really cares about their country. And the country cares about the people, no matter which political party you on. They're just different sides of direction. Ultimately, you want to feel like the party that you deal with